Good afternoon, Steve Brooks here for my Friday edition of Inside Look by Brooks. Welcome everybody. To those of you in Florida, it's cold. We're not used to this weather. I woke up this morning and it was 33 degrees at my house. It rarely gets in the 30s in Florida. It's been in the 30s 2 days in a row. So, and then in the afternoon, it can even get hot. That's just Florida weather. But generally, I enjoy cold weather, but this has been a little too cold for me. Today, I wanted to talk a little bit about texting and driving. You know, as a personal injury attorney, we see lots of cases involving texting and distracted driving. In fact, I kind of coin it internally. Distracted driving is the new drunk driving. Because if you're going 60 miles an hour, I think you can move 300 feet in about 3 seconds. So imagine you're driving an 8,000 pound car and you look down at your cell phone for 3 or 4 seconds. You've just traveled a football field, and you don't, by not having your eyes on the road, you don't know what's stepped in front of you, what cars pulled in front of you, and accidents happen, and they will happen. So distracted driving is a major, major problem. In Florida, texting and driving is not a primary offense. It's a secondary offense. And what that means is a police officer can see me in my car texting and not be able to stop me unless I commit a primary offense by speeding, running a stop sign, doing something else. Then he can stop me and also ticket me for texting and driving. So there's a bipartisan push in the state legislature to make texting and driving a primary offense, so that if a police officer sees me in my car texting and driving, he doesn't have to have another offense to stop me for. He can stop me for simply texting and driving. Currently, there are 43 states that ban texting and driving as a primary offense. And there's some discussion and disagreement on whether or not making it a primary offense is helpful or not. And I was reading an article by the Associated Press, and I'll just quote. It says, the AP notes that there are conflicting studies on the effectiveness of primary offense laws. The Insurance Institute for Highway Safety said that those states without texting as a main offense had higher than average highway death rates. So in that case, it would seem that making it a main offense would lower your highway death rates. But then the article goes on to say that existing primary bans have not led to a decrease in accidents. So there's a dispute about the effectiveness of banning it as a primary offense. So the next issue becomes, are we doing enough? If we make texting and driving a primary offense, as a driver, I can still drive down the road and watch a movie, read a book, put on makeup. I don't put on makeup, but women do. Eat. There's all kind of things that fit into that distracted driver category that a texting ban would not affect. So there's a move in the legislature to say, hold on, if we're going to ban texting and make it a primary offense, why don't we go the next step and deal with all forms of distracted driving? So the law, may have to go in detail about, always having two hands on the wheel, not using one hand to do an alternate activity. I don't know how they would structure that. And it would, the more complex the law is, the more open it would be to challenge. But the good thing, there is bipartisan support. So both sides of the aisle, Republican and Democratic, they want to do something about this problem. And the other good thing is that they want to do it. There's a big move to, we realize, this is like DUIs were 20 years ago. It is a problem. I don't think we take it serious enough. People are seriously harmed in these accidents. And I applaud the legislature on both sides of the aisle for tackling this head on. And I do think that Florida should be a primary offense state, so that if a police officer sees someone texting, and I think that the law ought to go the next step and deal with all forms of distracted driving. So I want, some of you guys may not be watching this live. I would appreciate your input, whether it's live or whether you watch this video later. So leave a comment, or if you have a question and want to get some dialogue going with me, feel free to message me or to email me at steve@brookslawgroup.com. That's steve@brookslawgroup.com. So any questions?
No questions.
Okay. Thank you very much for joining me today on this chilly Florida day. And we'll see you next Friday at 3 o'clock. Thank you so much.